I'm just trying to remember what order these two middle ones go in.
Just wait. Oh. I didn't touch the face of the thing at all.
Yeah. Okay. Today we're going to talk a little bit about depression glass and collecting it. Now, I have my own collection of depression glass. Well, it's not so much my own collection because it's something my family and the women of my family have passed down generation to generation. Now, the majority of my collection I've gotten from my family, but through each generation we add a little bit, piece by piece. And these two are new pieces that I've gotten, and I brought them today as kind of an example. And so throughout my speech we're going to talk about a little bit what depression glass is and the different kinds and patterns and colors that you might see. Now, the name depression glass speaks to its time period and not its effect that it had. Pamela Wiggins, an antiques expert, wrote an article entitled A Closer Look at Depression Glass about how it was actually encouraging through those rough times. And I'll be referring to this article throughout the speech. But Wiggins says that it brought a little cheer into some very dreary days. This is because of the bright colors and, as you can see, the really beautiful and intricate patterns. Now, some of the manufacturers Wiggins mentions in her article are Federal Glass, Macbeth Evans, and Hocking Glass. Wiggins also wrote a small price guide with examples, and I'll refer to that again later. But in this price guide, along with color and pattern and the type of piece that it is, like a cup or a plate or a bowl, she tried to include what company each is from, and so that kind of leads me to believe that the company has to do a little bit with the price as well. Now, because of the time period and economic state, she also honestly admits that the mass-produced molded glassware was of relatively poor quality, often exhibiting air bubbles, heavy mold marks, and other flaws in the glass. After stating this, she again points to the beautiful colors and patterns. Now, the majority of my collection is about this green, and these are the two newest pieces that I've added to the china cabinet. Wiggins says that the most popular colors with collectors today are pink, cobalt blue, and green, so nice, bright, pretty colors. She also says that it was produced in amber, an iridescent, opaque white, and several other colors. In Wiggins' price guide, she has a picture of an iris corsage crystal wine stem produced by the Jeannette Glass Company around 1928 to 1932, and I thought Jeannette would enjoy that. But this piece was kind of unusual because usually we think of the solid colored with just the embossed print on it, but this piece was clear with a painted pattern on it, but it's still depression glass all the same. Now, I have a few individual pieces in the other colors, but I have pretty much a whole set in the green. And I believe that the pattern of my set is royal lace. And according to Wiggins, some of the most popular patterns buyers seek out today are cameo, Mayfair, American Sweetheart, Princess, and royal lace. Now, in Wiggins' price guide, she has an example that is a royal lace green creamer priced around $20 in February of 2006. I also found a green tumbler, so kind of like this, with a different pattern that she priced for about $5 to $15 that, for just one of them in January of 2006. Now, I'm not quite so sure that my set is royal lace, though, because my mom likes to claim that she has never seen another piece with the same pattern as ours. So my mom and I aren't the only ones that are confused about the different patterns, though. And where Wiggins talks about the green tumbler, she points out that its pattern, colonial black, often gets confused with the black optic pattern. Now, the patterns in their names are interesting to the collectors, though, because, as Wiggins put it, they alluded to better times and a longing for the glamorous lifestyle of the 1920s. So if we think back, the names are American Sweetheart and Princess and Royal Lace. Now, although we think these pieces are so precious now, they were once so commonplace. Later in Wiggins' article, she talks about how they were an inexpensive buy, even relative to the time period, able to get them at the dime store about the same price as a loaf of bread. She even claims that sometimes they were just given away as a gift with other purchases. She even uses an example as if you went to the gas station to get an oil change, they might give you a piece of depression glass with that as well. And it just makes me wonder so much how the original woman who had my set got the collection that I am now never allowed to sell. So, thanks. Let me show you. There you go. Okay.